Hello, hello, hello. It's a beautiful day. A beautiful day. As you can see, I still got my smile on. Well, until some people start popping in here asking some questions, let me go ahead and first say thank you and everybody who's you know supported and just watched the show. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this here. I had a lot of great conversations with a lot of different people. Opened up different avenues of conversation and just people to vibe with in this survival world, in the survival game, and just being fans of the show in general. Um, Once again, I'm Marlin Sims. You ain't got to worry about me, doing anything else other than just being myself, man. I love being me and trying new things and having fun. Um, One of the things that I first wanted to say is salute, and shout out to my partner, Aaron, who was absolutely kick ass partner out there. Um, Literally, if I had a hat on, I would take it off and say, man, I take my hat off to you. She was amazing. And, you know, ultimately, did it suck that I, decided to leave? Yes, for the fact that I didn't want to leave her. But me and her had conversations despite how it was edited. She was aware of it. She gave me her blessing to leave. If she did not, I would not have left. Um, and that is 1000% true. She told me tough it out. She told me not to tough it out only for her. She said if you really don't feel like you want to be here or you feel like you have some situations going on, then it is okay to leave. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, and we out of here. That's why I was so okay with it because we had conversations about it. Even though she was still shocked at the time, but we had a sit down conversation and we talked about it. Um, so, that is one thing. But like I said, it's also editing of the show that we do not have control of. Trust me, I said it myself. I was like, they were so caught up on using, well, I'm a professional boxer. I got tired of hearing that as me watching the show because I'm not, that's not all I am. I drive trucks. I've been a businessman and I just have fun and I do other things. So just drive or being a professional boxer isn't that, but that's what they wanted to lean on at the same time. Um, and I have no issues with that. We had a lot of great content as well for the show that was not used. Oh my goodness, we had some good moments. Um, Man, one of the greatest moments that I enjoyed out there was, you know, every if you can see in a few of the clips, man, I was having fun with my hair. I was changing my hair up, just different styles, just for the fun of it. Um, Another good, great, funny, crazy clip that I expected them to use when they do like the private parts when the show is coming to an end at the end of the episode, and they do when they say private parts. Um, I was acting like a caveman out there, and it was just so funny. And it was at night, so the night light from the camera, the infrared night light version of the camera, made it look so crazy. It was so funny. We had some good times, just laughing and having a good time. Um, and like I said, that's why I'm always comfortable with what I did because I know what we did for the time that was out there. Um, Yeah, what's up? What's up? I see you in here. If you got any questions, go ahead and shoot anything that you want to ask. I see you guys coming in, so ask whatever. Also, let me know if you can hear me or if my connection isn't good. I can connect to the Wi-Fi, but so just let me know. Um, I'm in the backyard, just chilling. So, um, yeah. So, like I said, it was a lot of good things and bad things. It was a roller coaster of a challenge, but I also enjoyed it. A lot of people was like, if you cared about your body so much, or did you not watch the show? I watched every episode of the show, every episode. Um, I had so much fun when I had fun. and then it was a roller coaster, up and down for different reasons. Um, the funniest thing is that I actually didn't have any hunger issues until after we started eating. When the days that I was catching fish, I knew I needed it to make sure that we had something to come in. I honestly didn't know that we went 6 days without eating, at least what it showed on the show. I thought it was 4 days. And it ended up being six, at least how I showed on the show. I'm like, God dang, it was six. I kept saying 4 days before we caught some fish. But at the same time, when you're out there, that's how you kind of get away from knowing what you actually did. What's up, Jennifer? Oh, we have my partner, and Aaron's here. And like I said, man, me and Aaron, we spoke after, I know she could have felt like, oh, wait, he left me. But like she said, I said, she gave me her blessing to leave. I wasn't in it no more. I didn't have the reason why I was there wasn't, I fulfilled that for myself. And that's one of the best things I could say to that. Let me go ahead and see what question we got. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that, Jennifer. And that's what I say. And most people don't understand that. Is as long as I'm happy and I was comfortable and I know what I did out there, that's what matters, honestly. And I appreciate you guys. The hardest part about the challenge was, what was the hardest part? I guess I could go with the hardest part. I think it would, I guess, the lack of food at times. One thing, the only reason why I'm going to bring this up, let me say this while my partner is in the chat, and she could back up for this. Only time I'm going to say it because they didn't put it in the show. We ate pretty good out there. We had what all total within the 13 days that I was there. We had 36 fish in total. I caught 33. Was it 33 or 31? It was 33 or 31 fish out there, and my partner is here to contest to that. We fished a lot, and we fished while the hippos was there. Even on the episode, it showed that we didn't fish when the hippos got there. That wasn't the case. Like I said, out of editing, we don't have control of that. We do not have control of it. Let me see what else we got. My body fat percentage before the challenge, I actually do not remember what it was, but all my life I've been thin. My entire life I've been thin. I've never weighed, even now as being 31 years old, I've never weighed more than 156 pounds. Trust me, I tried to put on weight. I ate butter. I ate butter as terrible as it was. I was trying to put on weight. But my body, no matter what, I've never weighed a lot of weight anyway. Do you know what chore it was? Yeah, I don't know what the body fat was, but I still believe that's one thing most people don't understand is that even with me being a thin body, everything, I still believe that I was able to complete the challenge. That's what a challenge is. You have to push yourself. You have to go, and sometimes you don't make it. But I've always said, and I've been saying, that failure is not trying. If I wouldn't have never went because I was too worried about what it might have done to my body, or if I could or could not make it, then that would have been failure to me, because I would have been on the couch watching the show like, man, I probably could do this. I probably would make it, but I would never have known. So that is one thing about, you just got to go out there. Sometimes you don't win, but hey, that's okay. You get up and you keep going again. What else we got in here? Let me see. These comments are jumping around. Yeah, Skip. Yeah, I seen it. She's in here, man. Aaron, I text you as soon as I think when the episode was on, and I just had so much more love for you because, you did those 8 days by yourself like a soldier pushing through. And I will say, and that's due to the reason of your why as well. You know how they say, what's your why? What's the reason you're doing this for? You had a stronger why than what I had. My why was for me to just experience something, to go out here and just experience. Even though I said, yeah, I'm here to complete my 21 days and I want to win and I want to do it, which there ain't no winning, there ain't no, it ain't no winning to it. It's just you complete it or you don't complete it. And my thing was, I'm here for an experience. And I said it while I was out there. I said my experience was up and down. There was days that I was very happy about what was going on. Then there was days where I was very bored. I think it was once we got completed with our BOMA, when we got completed with our shelter, which they didn't shine enough light on our shelter. We have probably one of the top 3 BOMAs ever created in naked and afraid history, and I'm standing on that. That's where you can say, oh, you're getting cocky or arrogant. I'm just saying we are going to shine the light on the things that we did great, and I think that was one of the greatest things that we done while out there. Let me see what we got going on. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the love. These comments are jumping. Let me see. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Hey, I mean, I have fun. That's the biggest thing. The most for Jennifer, your question is what food did I crave the most? Oreos. That was my snack. It was the funniest thing ever. Oreos, but the meal that I wanted the most was my enchiladas. I wanted some enchiladas. That would have been my my first meal back. But also in the country of South Africa, some of their ingredients aren't the same. So but where I was, they wasn't able to create that. Also because I left early as well. If I would have stayed, then they would have possibly been trying to get those, whatever that desired meal is. That's how they do it. But I'm perfectly fine with the way it went. So yes, I would say Oreos and my enchiladas was the meal that I wanted the most. Skip, you said, do you know where the hippos went to sleep at night? I think they stayed in the water. I kid you not. I think they slept. I don't know. I think they slept in the water. They are super loud. They like the worst neighbors ever. They're loud all through the night. They make a weird noise, but it was still amazing. Still amazing. Yeah, literally 30 plus fishes is the amount of fish that I caught, which would be a naked and afraid record. Even though I didn't make it, and I had food. We had food we were eating, but I just, like I said, I had to listen to my body and how I felt. I just wasn't really caring for my reason of being there anymore. See, you can ask Aaron. See, one thing is like I, I'm gonna lean on Aaron a lot, to be honest. In the form of validation, which I don't have to validate anything because a lot of the people who had the negative criticism would never do it or haven't done it or wouldn't even try a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't feel like I have to explain myself. But me, as being me, I'm a nice, kind-hearted person. So when people have a certain perception, I can let it be. But I had time to respond to a lot of people over the last couple of days. So I've been having fun with it. Never did my spirits drop. Never did I get angry. Never did I feel like I was being attacked. I just had fun. And people were like, well, why are you responding? Well, I got time to respond, so I was being petty, or what they would say, a troll, I guess. I don't know if they were trolling me or if I was trolling them, but I was having fun, and I won some people over, a lot of people, once they started talking to me, and they knew I had responses back. Some of them completely stopped responding, like, oh, snaps, he's here talking, and then some people were like, well, I understand, that makes sense coming from your point of view, and things like that. Well, the hippos. So, Barbara asked. He said the hippos left the day after you did. If you would have known, would you have been? Well, no. Well, technically, because I wouldn't have known. But no, the hippos came and left. So they came for 2 days, and then they left, and then they came back, and I think they left again, and they came back. So they didn't stay there for the whole time. And all of that comes off of editing, for the way it actually is out there. So, like I said, the hippos came, and then they left. Then they came, and then they left. So that was one thing. That was one thing about that. What do you say? Is there any tips from Jeremy? Jeremy said, "Is there any tips? Where did it go? that I can say to get on the show. Honestly, I never even applied for the show. I was reached out. Somebody reached out to me because of one of my things that I was doing to get on the show was I was everything I was doing outside. So whenever I went outside building shelter, whenever I went outside making fire, fishing, attempting to make shoes out of palm trees and things like that, I always tag Naked and Afraid, and then eventually somebody had reached out to me about it. So, yeah. So even though I always wanted to do it, I never even applied to do it until I was sought after. So then that's what made me do it. And then the original time I was supposed to do it, which was back in 2020, or was it 20? It was 2021 is the original time I think I was supposed to do it. But then I was moving down here to Florida, so it didn't work out. Plus I had some fights going on, so it just the timing never worked out. And so eventually they reached back out and said, "Hey, when you want to do it?" I said, "Whenever y'all got the date." It didn't even matter. I was like, "Whatever y'all say, that's the date I'm leaving." So I guess post content of you doing things out in the wild, tag Naked and Afraid, tag hashtag and tag Discovery, all of that stuff. Keep doing it, and then somebody possibly will reach out to you, because that's how it happened for me. What we got? What's it jumping? All right. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, like I said, it was amazing. That's the biggest thing I can say. It was amazing. What's up, Wes? What's up, Wes? He said, "Who is my favorite boxer?" Floyd Mayweather. I got other ones, like Marvin Hagler, things like that, but ultimately Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather versus Robert Guerrero is the actual fight that got me into boxing. I started boxing late, but that was the biggest thing, Floyd. So, simple answer on that one. Yeah, Aaron showed, like, they didn't show us eating the buffalo thorn, which is a plant that you can pull the leaves right off the tree and you can eat those. Yeah, they didn't show a lot of great stuff. I was telling them earlier, Aaron, they didn't show the caveman. They didn't show the caveman when I was in our boma acting like a caveman. They didn't show that, and I specifically was like, there's some good areas that they should have played that they did not do, man. It was man. That's the only thing I say, but not in a bad way. I felt like we had so much more action for a lot of things, and just good conversations and things like that, and funny moments, where I thought that would have been a big part into the episode. Like, I think the day before I left, or the day I left, I'm not sure, or maybe a couple of days out. My timing is so off. I was walking in the water down by just probably shin high, and after I passed by, one of the junior crocodiles got out the water and ran right by where I was walking as I was like coming up the hill, and it was crazy, and I knew for sure that we was gonna have that as a clip where it would have been like showing how close that crocodile and how fast that crocodile was running to around it while we were out there walking, things like that. What else? Let me see what we got. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this light on out here for myself. There we go. A lot better. Oh, what else? Let me see. Currently, Skip, you said, when's my next fight? Right now, I'm not sure. I'm going back on the road. I'm a truck driver as well, so I'm about to be going back on the road, have some fun. That's one of my greatest things that I've ever done. So, absolutely love driving. Been everywhere except for Maine and Mississippi. Drove everywhere else other than those two states. Let's see what we got. Who are my favorite Naked and Afraid legends? Ooh, I would have to say, freaking A. Now I'm drawing a blank. Other than I know Jeff, because this is what I live for. I love his energy. Despite I know a lot of people probably don't like it because he's loud and obnoxious, but I don't. I love it. I don't care. I ain't got no judgment toward nobody. Um, excuse me. And but oh, Matt is amazing. Matt is so amazing. Yeah, amazing. One of the questions I was asked is, would I do it again? Yes, I would. I would definitely do it again. Um, Point blank, period. Because guess what? That would be another challenge. Even though, from what it showed on the screen, even though, don't get me wrong, I was miserable at times or just wanted to go home. I had just other reasons with like where I was like, what's up? Yeah, hold on. And so yeah, I would do it again. Ultimately, I would definitely do it. So I have no issues with that. And then that's it. I would not call it. I said I would not even call it a redemption, even if I did it again, because I don't feel that I have to redeem myself. I went out and I truly felt that I showed that I had the skills, at least to myself, and that's all that mattered. Is that I knew I could if I wanted to truly push it past those limits. One thing they didn't show, another thing is that we, you know, which it obviously didn't matter because Aaron still pushed and completed the challenge, did the height, everything. But one thing that made me worried is that the way the medical staff had put us on alert. I can say it now. Yeah, so they put us on alert and made us believe that something was like the way they came to us, the producers came to us, the medical staff came to us, and they made us worried. Like they said, hey, you guys need to do make sure that you guys are drinking this much water each. As long as it takes to boil water, go down and get some water, bring it back up, make sure we get it boiling and get it cooled down in a certain time frame. It was a very tough task, but we were eating, we were drinking, but me and Aaron both thin, we're skinny, so it's like a lot of the stuff isn't holding, it's just going in and going out or whatever. But so it was some things that people didn't know. Like from day 2, I had a respiratory infection from the smoke, and literally there was a day that I probably went to sleep for maybe an hour or less. I did not go to sleep because I thought I was going to die. And that's my actual body. This is a challenge where it's not like a reward prize or anything. Like, it's not like Survivor, you get $1 million when you complete it or you win. This is just, you go out there and show us what you got. And some people's like, well, you need to push it, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, it's like, a lot of people who push themselves to that limit, they don't use their body as their body isn't their moneymaker. For me being in the ring, I have to make sure that I'm good. If not, then, so that was one big difference. But yeah, I definitely would have no issue with doing it again, in a different location, because it's going to provide a different challenge. Even though I didn't survive that challenge, I would definitely sign up and do another one, and I have no issues with that because that's just who I am. You go and you get up. If you get knocked down, you can look up, you can get up, and that's it. It was extremely cold. It was extremely cold while we were out there. It didn't even show the days that it rained. We had a rainstorm that came in. And it didn't even show that how we had to. Our shelter was great, but we wanted to make sure that we that we had it together. Aaron got the ripping stuff down, bringing it in, and making sure we were a lot more had it, because we had a big shelter. We had 2 fires. We had 2 fires in there. We were able to lay out. We had a very plush shelter, and they did not show enough light and spread enough light on there, because we knew that we both get cold, and if we get cold as thin as we are, we already burning more calories, shivering. We had our fires roaring, and like they were even like, you guys make sure y'all pay attention to y'all fire because we don't need it to catch on fire, the whole shelter to catch on fire. And yeah, man, it was a lot. That's the only thing that I think sucked, more than anything else, is that the good footage that I felt like they did not capture. A lot of the, you know, moments that they ask us questions and our answers that we give, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Um, there was a lot of stuff. Yeah, yeah, it was extremely cold. What location would I pick? Aaron asked. I would honestly, um, I want to say the rainforest. To be honest, like for some reason, I just want to see that amount of like the creatures and the wildlife that would be there. Do I think it would be even? Would I think? Do I think it'd be scarier? Yes, 1,000%. But it would still be a challenge. Like you just gotta. I'm looking my like. If y'all have conversations with me or just see some of the stuff that I do, I'm like, I just go out and try, and that's it. You go out and try. That's it. Live. That's it. Get out the couch. Get out the house. Go out. Live. Try it. While I was saying that, one thing that popped in my brain is that, the quote, white people shit. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. But they also didn't get the full context. I said, in full context, I said, most people say, and a lot of black people say, man, we don't do that. That's white people shit. I was explaining to them on the set is that I said, I no longer use that term. Like I deleted that term years ago because I no longer say it's white people shit. I call it living. I learned that shit is living because I snowboard, I kayak, I go out in the wild, I go scuba, I'm a certified scuba diver, I skydive, I do so much other things that the average black man would not naturally do because they assume it's white people stuff. And I call it living because I learned that it's living. I love skydiving so much that I want to be certified so I can start jumping by myself. Like, black people don't go skydiving, not the average. So that's what I said. But the way they cut it, it said that's white people shit. But they didn't get the full thing. So some people was like, well, that's racist. And what if you say that that's black people? What do we say that's black people shit? Most people, I said, but I'm not most people, so I don't really care about all that. But that's one thing. It's like we don't have control of that stuff, but it was absolutely amazing. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I think if they did a blooper episode, they would have so much good content. I think we had a lot of good moments. Another thing, which after I will say, the one thing that I said I wasn't going to even say is I did that challenge, which this had no effect on me while out there. I thought they would have showed my heartfelt moment while I was fishing. I ended up crying while I was fishing, and the producer, that's when they go and ask the questions, and that's how a lot of people end up answering stuff because they're getting asked questions. And he's like, what's going on? What is it that you're feeling? I said, well, this made me think about fishing with my dad. On going out there, I had my dad service 7 days before going out there. So I had to fly to Minnesota, put my dad to rest, and then I got back to Florida. Within that 7 days, I was headed out to South Africa, which, like I said, didn't have any reason for me not completing the challenge, but I thought that they would have, at least put that in there to show, oh, look at this guy, he's, has been vulnerable, just for content wise, is what I was thinking. But even like they just didn't show a lot of anything, to be honest. There was a lot of words more so that I felt like they asked. Jeremy asks, what's your thought on a PSR rating? Um, I don't have no real thoughts on it. I think I ain't got really too many thoughts on it. Um, I think I started at a 6.6 or a 6.7 maybe, and I think I ended up with a 5.6 or a 5.2 prior to leaving, and I ain't got no real issues or quarrels about it. I do think that when people are pre-assessed um, on their PSRs, it's not. It's all off of what you tell them that you could do, I guess. So it can kind of be, misleading, I guess. But I really don't have too many issues. I do say there is some people that I think that their PSR should be higher. I've seen people complete the challenge and their PSR only moved up a few points, and I think that should be higher. Regardless, I just think it should jump up high. Let's see what else we got in here. Yeah, so yep. So yep, truck driving. EJ the Legend is about a boxing event. Oh yeah. Whoa, I'm gonna have to ask him. Skip said EJ the Legend is about to do a boxing event. Any advice for him? Get your cardio in. Make sure your cardio is right. You do not want to be in the ring, and the last thing you do is hold your hands up and you getting punched in the face. Work defense. Work defense. Uh, so yes, Barbara, I'm 30. I'm 31 years old. Um, I did the challenge at 30, so we did it last year. June of last year is when we went out there. Oh, if you said who was that, that's probably my daughter. I get her cast taken off this Monday, so I'm excited. She does gymnastics, but she didn't break her arm doing gymnastics. She was just playing around and fell on her arm. First broken bone in a couple of our generations. My wife ain't never break a bone. I ain't never break a bone. My brothers ain't break no bones. Her brother ain't break no bones. Like, that was crazy. Our other daughter never broke any bones, but she handled that like a G. She handled that like a champ. What else we got? Appreciate it. Whenever I touch this thing, if I get off of it and then scroll again, it disappears or it moves. Um, Jennifer asked, "Did I have any reaction to my skin being close to the fire?" No, I didn't have any issues. It wasn't close enough. I wanted to be in the fire. It was so cold. I don't know if it ever showed a lot of the temperature a lot of the times, but I guarantee that the temperature had to drop in the 40s of at least a few of those nights, um, which was which was new to me. We getting there, I'm thinking like, oh, Africa is hot. I love the heat. That's why I left Minnesota to come down here in Florida, and I'm like, yep, it's hot. I'm happy. And then they said, well, no, we're getting into the winter of Florida or Africa, and I'm like, well, what? Which, don't get me wrong, during the day it still got to a nice temperature, but at night, if it didn't get cold, I kid you not, it was so freezing out there, you guys. It was freezing. That's why, like, it was a lot of stuff that we talked about. It was like I told them, I said, even way before the days that it rained, I said, hey, if it rains, I'm leaving. I'm letting y'all know that right now. And they was like, what? This was days way before I even thought about rain. I just told them, I said, if it rain, I'm leaving. But I said that a lot throughout that challenge. I said, I'm about to leave. Um, One of the things, like, as we was catching fish, and I said, I feel like I'm at home. Um, Literally, if I go out, walk a couple steps, I can go catch tilapia right here in my front yard. And I was like, that's what I was catching out there, catfish and tilapia. I said, I feel like I'm at home. And I told the producer, I said, I'm at home. Like, this is like, I felt like I was at home. And then that's where I started messing with my mental, where I was like, if I feel like I'm at home, I don't feel like I'm getting the experience of being out on naked and afraid so much. And that was one of the things that I verbally said. And I was like, I didn't feel, that's why I say it's a roller coaster of moments where I'm like, oh, snaps, I'm here. And then other times it was just like, I guess this is where I'm at right now. And it was moments where I felt that it was going to be a high consistently, and it wasn't, and that's where I had different expectations. But that's what you have to do. You have to go out there to learn and to see how it's going to be. Sammy Ray, much love. Yes, yes, much love from Minnesota. Yes, indeed. Some of the people asked me that but that's one of the things that they said. It was like, well, I was like, I'm from Minnesota. I said, and I'm representing Florida, but even though I could have said I'm representing Minnesota, he's like, yep, just stick with one, because I was like, from Minnesota. Now recently moved to Florida, so that's where I'm at. And he was like, yeah, just go ahead and go with Florida. So things like that, where some people was like, what, are you abandoning Minnesota? I'm like, nah, I'm always gonna call Minnesota home base. So Maria asks, would you do you would you I'm assuming would you do another challenge to pack on more pounds? My body would not allow me to pack on pounds. Um, my body just, I thought, like I said, I just couldn't pack on pounds. I think what would make a difference on me doing another challenge, I guess, weight wise, which I wouldn't have to worry about it as nearly as much, but right there, um, I think I would push, just go it through it. But it also depends on mindset. It depends on my mindset. Like, I literally had the mindset where my reason for being out there wasn't wasn't enough, and I knew it with myself. Like, one thing about me is being very self aware about who I am and about myself. Is that I told myself that I literally was staying only for the simple fact of um, I was staying just to see, like, if you go to Erin's page and you see her first meal. I literally was staying just to see what that was like, and then I told myself, like, why do I need to stay if I can go home right now and just eat it? And that was literally the conversations that we was having. Like, I was like, I could just go home and eat right now instead of just waiting. At the same time, it was less. I was, having whatever I was having going on, and some people was like, well, you quit so easy. Well, that's just the way they showed it. It was a lot of days where I was like, where I just pushed through so much. Like I said, from day 2, I had a respiratory infection where I couldn't even take a breath that deep. That was terrifying to me, because I was just like, yo, what's going on with my body? But I pushed through that for the rest of those 9 or 11 days. But that would be something that they didn't know about. Like, I cut myself. Aaron said, all right, don't cut yourself, because we getting further in the challenge, and you can get, you're getting more fatigued, more weak, and things like that. But I ended up cutting myself. I thought that would have been in there just to show a little excitement, but it wasn't nothing. But it was really like it was a cut, but it wasn't anything on it. Like, I cut myself, and I looked at my thumb, and I just clipped it like this and continued cutting some grass where we could have some bedding and some covers. So it didn't really affect it, but I thought they would have added that just for the simple fact of just content. Just be like, oh, we got blood in the episode. Milo, yes, man, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, literally in the middle of the jungle. People always ask, like, and that was a question I wanted for myself to be out there. I said I wanted to know what was real and what was fake. I wanted to know if, when the cameras is off or at nighttime, are they really staying out there? Things like that, like, or do they get help? Is anybody out? Nope. You are out there by yourself. They ain't gonna help you with a mother sucking thing. Trust me. I asked. I said, y'all ain't got no bread. Y'all ain't got no crackers. They ain't not gonna give you nothing at all. I tell you that much for sure. So I did a lot of promoting for the show. I said, if y'all think that y'all can sit here and do this, then just sign up. He said, you're giving us so many promos. I said, because I'm out here and I know what it's like. Go out there if you think it's a joke. It's tough, man. It's fun. But it like I said, the best way to describe it is a roller coaster. But it's doing something that you've never done before. For myself, I've never done anything like that. I got into a lot of my outdoor stuff. It just hit 2 years for the from the time that I was like, oh, I would like to try Naked and Afraid. It just hit 2 years, like a couple days ago, and I said I'm gonna start learning how to put these skills together. Everything I did, I learned from either YouTubing and watching the show, learning how to build fire, learning how to build shelter, chopping down trees. This is stuff I ain't never did. Like I said, I grew up in the city, in the city, and I said that in the show, like in the hood. I ain't used to doing none of this stuff. I didn't grow up farming and going out on, camping and things like that. All of this stuff was new, but it's something that I love, and I found out that I'm good at it and I enjoy doing it. So why not go ahead and put those challenges to a test, and put those skills to a test. And yeah, it was so much, man. It was just like how you guys can see me now, and you seen the energy that I was putting out there. It was so much that we were doing, man. It was amazing. So Barb asked, what animals did we see? Rhinos. Well, we didn't get to see the rhinos, let me say that. But rhinos ran through our camp where we had to hunker down. So, and you was able to hear them. So we had rhinos running through the camp, and I thought that would have been something that they probably would have had added, but I don't think they caught it on the camera. But they ran through. There was 2 rhinos that ran through. That was amazing. A lot of giraffe. The one thing that I wanted to see was a hyena. I really wanted to see a hyena. I did not want to see any cats. Not a jaguar, not a lion, nothing. I did not want to see a cat at all. Not a bobcat, not a Siberian cat, no cats. But I wanted to see a hyena, like, extremely bad. Like, that was the animal that I would have wanted to see. Trust me, like, when I go back and I think about it, like, the reason why, one thing that, I was posting it as much as I was and celebrating it, even though I knew what the outcome was, but I was very proud of what I was able to do out there. And a lot of people didn't understand it. Like, I was very proud with what I did because I knew what it was. Like, when I break it down, oh, you only, stayed for 13 days out of 21. The producers was like, do you know that there have been people on the show that they came out there and filmed and they couldn't even make an episode? They couldn't even air it because the people quit. He said you passed more than 50% of everybody who's been on the show for the dates that you've been on there. And then not only that, the amount of energy and what I was able to do within that time frame was a lot. And it's not cocky or boisterous. It's just I appreciate what I was able to do, and I accomplished, or I acknowledge what I did, and I praise myself for what I did, because you get so much people that spread hate and they spread, negativity, and who else do you got to build yourself up if nobody else will? You have to lead on yourself. You have to be your biggest fan. You have to, because if not, man, the world could be a dark, dangerous, and scary, angry place, and that's one of the things that most people don't understand. That's why I always talk about self-love and, be your biggest fan, and always just do everything your way, and then you can never say you're doing it wrong. Can't nobody judge you on it because you're doing it your way. Barbara said hyenas are terrifying. They're just big ass large cats. I really wanted to see a hyena. I got I want to see just in its natural habitat. That was another thing that was so crazy, is just being around those creatures. I seen a big old water buck. That was definitely I call it a deer on steroids. It was so huge. It was just muscular, like it was so muscular, like smaller than the elk, but it was just so huge. You see all these dang mosquitoes coming out on me. It was just a lot, man. Let me see. Oh, before I stayed, where I stayed at before insertion, amazing. The place I stayed was a villa. I stayed at a villa, and it was absolutely amazing. The people there was beautiful. They were very they were so excited, and a lot of these, well, they're from Africa, and I was telling them what I was doing, and they're like, "What? You're crazy!" Like, I'm from here, and some of the people was like, they knew what, like, plants and things like that because they're native to the area, and they was like, I don't care, I would not be able to survive that, and they live in this environment. It was so much good times there. um the place that I stayed at, what was it called? Tenzin Resort and Lodge. And we had a safari. Um, we had a safari on the lodge, so they don't have any big five, which is rhinos, hippos, crocs, lions, and all the big five, the things that can kill you. But we had giraffes. When I got there, there was a 3 day old zebra, baby zebra, and I'm walking through the safari, so I could walk through, see the gazelles, all of the amazing animals, the beautiful plants and trees. Um, I don't know if y'all seen it, but yeah, eating crickets. I've ate crickets since I got back to Florida. Crickets, grasshoppers, amazing. Crickets have more protein. They could be used as a superfood. But the taste of a grasshopper is so much better. And people be looking at me like, "What?" There's a juicy taste to a grasshopper, and it is like a delicacy. I kid you not. um, it was amazing. Like I said, I've had some since I go outside and I'll pick one up off the ground and just eat it. And I've been trying to get other people to eat it, and they'd be like, "Just chill out." But no, the place that I stayed at was amazing. It was amazing, and they were so nice, man. When I left the challenge, I probably took what I think maybe two showers. I think one was a nice little 15-minute or so shower. Um, yeah, I took a shower, then I got back to my lodge, and I took a bath and a shower. I soaked, and then I got up, took a shower. Uh, Man, it was amazing. It took me a while to be able to eat food regularly, though. And what I mean by that, whenever I ate anything of when I ate anything of like that was large, not even like the pork, just a big bite of anything, it it took some like time for my body to digest it. Like, if I ate it as I was swallowing, I felt like I was choking. Um, if Because it just felt like a lot of food that was going down. Even if I was taking small bites, like I had to eat very small. It felt like it was getting caught somewhere like in my chest area. So it took me some time to be able to like actually eat some food. Like, yeah, I'm eating, but I wasn't able to eat. You know, not necessarily even eat fast, but at regular speeds. I had to slow it down, and I had to eat a lot of small portions at times. But that was probably one of the things that took me some time to get my weight back, because I um I wasn't able to eat large portions either. It took some time. Like, I'll probably eat a few bites and had to wait and let it sit to feel like it truly was not even digesting, but just traveling through to my stomach. So that was something that was like the only thing that I had going on where that was like, whoa. Um, Let me see. Dang, we got a lot of questions. Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys, man. No, it's like I said, it was amazing time. Great, 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 great time out there. But I always say it was tough. It was tough. It had its moments, but it was still a great situation, a great experience. Uh, where we at? Yeah, Wes. The first thing I ate. What did I eat? Well, first thing I ate was as soon as I got off off the from the challenge in the driving back, was some fruit and some dang on granola bars. But what did I say I eat for my first meal? I answered it somewhere, but I don't remember now. All of a sudden, yeah. Even Aaron's like, she said, I thought she was gonna put, like, they thought they was gonna put how much to smoke. Like, I was worried about that. One, like, I was like, Like if you could see me take a breath like here, that's as far as I was able to breathe in, and it was like all the since day two. Like I literally thought that, and I'm thinking like, all right, what can the medics tell me? There was nothing like they. That was another thing. Medics would not tell you anything that goes wrong with you. Everybody else knows what's wrong with you, but they won't tell you. They won't tell you if your blood sugar is low. They won't tell you if your heart rate has dropped or your blood pressure has risen. They won't tell you anything, and that's one thing where they'll give you a look like, "Oh snaps," and they'll look at each other and they'll probably have a conversation, but they won't tell you anything. And the reason why is they don't want to affect your ability while you're out there, like to mess with your mind. Be like, "Oh well," but like I said, they came to me and Aaron's like, "You guys need to do something like immediately." And I was like, "Well, how far bad are we for you guys to come at us like that?" It was outrageous, man. It was outrageous, but that's part of it. Let me see. Why don't people bang on the pots and lids? Um, we didn't bang on pots and lids when we had the when we heard some stuff that was creeping around us. Um, I think more so at the time because we had our water in it. So we had our water in the pots, but I guess you could still bang on it. But I don't think we thought about that. There was a moment where we had some noise come, and I had that machete in hand. Like I didn't even put the machete in the pouch when we were in our shelter at night. I kept it up in the ground, and I said, if anything put its paw through here, any piece of animal that's coming through here, I'm hacking away at it. That's about it. Like I was just so ready to kill whatever would have came in that shelter because it was either us or the it was either us or or the animal, and I was extremely like ready to kill. But there was one time, and I guess it could have been the hippo. No, it was before the hippos even came. So if you've seen the episode, it showed that the hippo was walking pretty close to our shelter. But there was another night, I think it was like our first or second night. It was one of them nights where something was pretty freaking close to the shelter. Multiple nights, but there was one night where it was like, all right, this is about to go down. So yeah, we made noise and stuff like that though. Where are we at? Where we at? Um, it. I don't know how long it actually took me to get back to fighting weight. I think I was even not even stepping on a scale. I think I walked in the competition at 140 something, the challenge at 140 something. I believe I left at one like 131. I think I lost almost. I think it was maybe 19. I think it was it 19 pounds. I think it might have been 19 pounds. But I'm not sure to be honest. I believe it was close to 19 because if I walked in at 140 and I think I was leaving out 140 something. I think I probably came in at 147 and I think I was leaving out at like 131, if not 129 or 131 to 129 is what I left out at. And I believe I came in 147, 148. Um, like I stopped going to the gym prior to going to the challenge because I was like, let me hold all of the dang on weight that I can get, fat, everything. I was eating burgers, steak, pasta. I was just trying to build as much weight as I can, but I never weigh a lot. Like right now, I'm probably at 153 at max, and I think I woke up maybe 151, maybe that, but that's at max, and I just never been a never been a just genetics. That's it, genetics. What's up, Billy? What's up, Billy? What else we got? What is the most disgusting thing you ate out there? And that's coming from Gary. The most termites. Termites was the most disgusting. It just tastes like burnt. It's just nasty. And it actually takes a lot of work to eat termites, like to get them. Their termite mounds are made out of goddamn on concrete and steel. Like I thought that I was gonna go over there and just get the hacking away at it and get no. Them things are built like freaking I don't know what to say. It's built crazy, but That would be the most disgusting thing. We was eating ants. We ate some ants, these big old black ants, but they were delicious. Um, it was a lot, man. It was amazing. One of the tricks that I will say, so like I said, I think it was what 30. It was either 31 or 32 fish. One of the things once we started catching our fish was taking the gills out the fish and using that as the bait. So we was keeping everything from the fish. I was using guts, everything, throwing it back out there. There was a lot of times where, I mean, as soon as I was throwing a line out there, we was pulling in fish. There was a day, I caught 11 fish, and we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like we were eating good. Like it was a lot of good stuff, man. And I kept saying it on the show. I said they have to say how many fish I caught because this is a record, and it was crazy. Uh, no, I didn't have or I didn't never even ask. Like when I was reached out, they said, "All right, we could do the 21 days." I never even asked about a fan challenge. But I did. That is one thing I did say. I said, "Oh, if I did a fan challenge, if I did a fan challenge, I would have completed it." but I have, like I said, I have no regrets at all. Um, I That's why I left with the comfort that I did, and I never ever, even to this point, I've never held my head down about it because I was okay with what I did. I really truly felt satisfied and accomplished, honestly, because I talked myself where I was like, I was just ready to go. One of the things that the producer was telling me, it was like, well, you could lay down for these days. I mean, I was up every day, moving and grooving every day. Um, and they so like you're wasting a lot of energy, this and that, things like that, and could that had came back on the back end and bit me? Yeah, possibly, but ultimately they said, why don't you just lay down? They said, why don't you lay down? I said, even at home, I do not lay down. I do not take naps. I do not rest. They was like, but this is part of I said, I would rather go home than to survive by laying down, which, because we had so much good content that I felt on the show that that um, that me laying down was just have been some of the most unexciting episodes. But I told them, I said, I would rather go home than to survive that way. And I knew that, I just knew me, and I was being 1000% honest. Like, I just knew myself, and I wasn't gonna survive that way. Me laying down was not gonna do it. Um, from my side, you only left 15 minutes early. Jojo, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, and enjoy it. Yeah, yeah. It was 11 fish in one day. I'm telling you, it was amazing, and they weren't all like massive fish. There was some of them that was decent size, just all palm hill, but it was amazing. And the one of the greatest things I would say that we ate once we made our fish boil. So we had our tilapia, we had our catfish. We throw them in the pot, boil them. Eating the eyeballs was so delicious because it had that, what is it? I don't want to say sodium, or is it sodium? I'm not sure, but the what the eyeballs contain. I read about it at one point, but the eyeballs contained something that was just so, it was so good. It was so delicious. Like when we was eating, it was so amazing. And I literally said I didn't do it. So I just went and caught some fish the other day, and I was like, I should boil this in the pot, so when the episode come on, I can just have it, eat it the way I was eating it out there with no seasoning. Like, it didn't even need no seasoning, but because we wasn't eating, like, we didn't need no seasoning. We were just eating it just out the pot. It felt like, what Gordon Ramsay would cook. Like, it was so amazing, you guys. It was amazing, but that's because we were deprived anyway. So everything that we got was so worth it. Another thing that we consumed was, they have these little brown, like, pods, these little seeds, but you boil it in your water, and it's like tea, and that was one of the most delicious thing. delicious things that we had out there. It was a lot of great stuff. We found a spring, and we washed ourselves off over in a spring, which was funny because we enjoyed the or I think, well, we both did because we traveled there, but we enjoyed the muddy pond water over the spring water. At least I did. Like that spring water, after boiling it, it just didn't taste the same. Like it just was lacking the wildlife. It was lacking the the hippopotamus. It was lacking the crocodiles. So I enjoyed drinking the pond water over the spring water. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, you guys. I kid you not. Oh, what we got here? One of the other things that now there was some things that I had some things that I did not like behind the camera outside of the actual challenge part. Um, I brought my bow and arrow with me, and I said, "This is what I want to bring." And the producer was like, "Well, you you don't get to decide what you get to bring." And like you bring items, and he didn't say it like an asshole or anything like that. But he was like, "You don't get to, he decides what we bring." So I brought from home. I brought my bow and arrow, brought my fishing line, and I brought my fire starter. But you only get one item, but they tell you to bring multiples. Um, and they gave us fishing line, which, like I said, it worked because we was able to pull out over 30 something fish. But if I had my bow and arrow, it would have showed us, it would have allowed us to bring, possibly get the buck, the water buck that I seen. If I would have set up blinds, it would have made us go out and venture further for food. One of the things that it didn't show is that me and Aaron, we went out and we searched for guinea fowl. We searched for different food for more protein other than fish, but we didn't have any luck. Like the amount of you would think, at least I thought, that you would see so much more critters, rodents, just something out there, snakes. I felt that you would see so much more of that when you're out there, but it wasn't a lot of it out there. Like the big animal that we seen, the water buck, we wasn't able to. Didn't have anything to do it. We couldn't set snares. Some people was like, "Why you guys didn't set traps?" Well, in South Africa, the area that we were in, setting traps, snares is illegal. I guess there's other traps that you can set, but my partner Erin, she said she's very good at setting snare traps, but they were illegal out there due to the poaching, and there was a lot of poaching going on out there because it was traps set up everywhere, and that was something that we couldn't do. Another thing, I wish. Let me see how. So, another thing that we wasn't able to do. I was told. So as I'm fishing, and there's a baby crocodile out there, little crocodile, but it's around my fishing line. I said, "Okay, this crocodile bites my line. We about to eat it." It was a very small crocodile, but I said, this crocodile bites my line. I'm gonna kill it and we gonna eat it." I was told, "Marlin, if you kill that crocodile, you will go to jail." I was told that because the crocodiles were protected. The Nile crocodile is protected in Africa. And that's what we had. We had the Nile crocodiles. I was told you will go to jail if you kill it. And those were some of the other things that kind of took my brain out of survival mode, because it wasn't a life and death situation for survival on that part. And don't get me wrong, I had a fun time. I enjoyed it. I don't want to sound like I'm making up excuses or anything. I'm just telling you from my experience of things that made me kind of like, "Oh, what?" And that's just due to the area that we were in. Because obviously, you've seen from the very first episode. I can't even think of his name, but he's a legend. Him in the very first episode of the new season, season 17, absolute both of them are legends, and I do not think. I bet we will see them sometime again, at least on XL somewhere. I wholeheartedly. But you seen him getting in the water. You seen him going after these crocodiles, killing them, getting them. I wouldn't have done that even if they told. Yeah, Cole. I would not even if. So we were told before we started our challenge that we were not allowed to get in the water. I do not remember if he said that because everybody have crocodiles or they have caimans. And people still get in the water, piranhas, anything. But we were told not to get in the water, and I don't want to add no extra sauce to it. But I was like, I do not remember if they said because one of the crocodiles have had human. I do not remember. Please don't quote me on that. But we were told that we could not get in the water, so we never got in the water past our shins. Which I wouldn't have wanted to get in the water past my shins anyway. We had a big ass crocodile out there every day, and I always seen the junior crocodiles and the baby crocodiles. I wasn't finna play with them. But you seen Cole, he was in the water actively going after these crocodiles. I'm sitting here watching the episode like, this man is crazy. Like that was one of the greatest episodes of Naked and Afraid ever. I don't care what nobody say. I've never seen somebody, this man jumped in the water. He said, yeah, that's a gator, and jumped in the water. He was attacking the gators. The gators were scared. Or the crocs. Let me say the crocs. And I thought that was so amazing. But as I'm watching the episode, I'm like, what in the world? But I'm like, we couldn't kill our crocodiles. I was told that I would go to jail if I killed that crocodile because they were protected. And yeah, it was, and I told him, I was like, well, how does, and that, like I said, it was due to the area we were in. Other episodes, they were in South Africa, but the area they were in, those crocodiles were, obviously, whatever it is. I don't know the logistics of it, but yeah, so, it kind of took me out at times where I'm like, what? Like, how does that doesn't make sense. Like, it kind of took me out of survival mode where it's like, oh, well, we got, rules on certain things. So it was the fact that I didn't get my bow and arrow, and I brought my bow and arrow with me. We were told no snares. We were told, couldn't kill the crocodile. We stumbled upon a pretty fresh kill of Aaron was able to see it. It was a dead animal, but it was also used. It was killed by poachers. And we're like, okay, well, we can, take the hide. We can make something out of the hide, but because it was killed by poachers, we weren't able to use it. And I said I wasn't gonna say that, but it is what it is. Because I don't know, what we, our NDAs, all that stuff is over with. But yeah, it was killed by poachers, so it was off limits for us to use. And I'm like, well, if it's already dead, why wouldn't we be able to use it? It's already dead, and now it's going to die for no reason. We should be able to if we were in a real survival situation, and that's why I was talking to the producer. I'm like, if we're in a real survival situation, why wouldn't we be able to use it if it's already out here? And it was some certain things like that, and these happened all at different times. Like, it wasn't back to back to back for certain events that kind of like turned me off too, where I'm like, okay, well, this is more of a 21 days of a game where you're here, and then once you're done with this, you go back to life. And that's why I said I'm going back to reality. And I said it at the end. A lot of it was chopped up, but it was a lot of stuff. That's all I can say. It was a lot of stuff. It was good and bad. It was a roller coaster. And even with that being said, I would definitely do it again. That's the end up. Like, that's it. Like, I would definitely do it again. So all they wanted you to eat was fish and bugs. Yeah, and plants. But I can't say what they wanted, but that's all. That's what we had. That's what we would have basically had, because we didn't have any big, you know, anything big to go out there and kill something that was big enough for us to sustain us a big amount of meat, protein source or anything like that. So it was other stuff that people would never know, they would never see, um, but I still wear my smile. I'm still laughing. I still reminisce. I still, you know, enjoyed it 1,000%. It was a lot of good stuff, and it was an amazing experience. And me being able to step out and challenge myself in that experience allowed me to speak to so many of you guys in this, live stream. Some of the people that I've messaged with, personal messages. Um, a lot of the other contestants. Just a lot of good stuff. It was a lot of great stuff, and I was very happy. Another thing, I don't even know if I told Aaron. Aaron, if you still here, like I said, I have so much love and respect for you, for your wife, just the love and just being able to go through that experience with you. I, I was having fun, man. I had fun, but I had fun even through the tough times, even though it got tough. But I had fun. But one of the things that I told myself, I told my wife, I was like, one thing I need to make sure is that I wanted to make sure that my partner felt comfortable, um, because she's now going to be naked around a stranger who's a male. For any woman in the world, that is could be a nightmare, could be alarming, even though yes, that's part of the show. But still, you never know who you're gonna be paired with. You don't know how that energy is, you don't know how that person's gonna make you feel. It's a lot of different things that could go on in anyone's mind, the male man or the male side or the woman side. And I wanted to make sure that I never made her feel uncomfortable. I never wanted to make her feel as if, anything that was eerie, weird, or none of that, nothing out of the ordinary. And when she completed her challenge, she obviously, speak to her family and everything. And I don't even think I told Erin that her dad reached out to me and had so much great stuff that me and him had a conversation about. And he was saying some of the things that she had told her. It's like, I want to thank you for being a stand-up man. And my daughter told me how much you looked out to her. You made sure she felt comfortable. Things like that, where my real character comes into play. Because, man, I got daughters, so you can't tell me that I'm gonna treat somebody else's daughter, woman, anything out there ungodly, disrespectful, anything, because I wouldn't want anyone to treat my children like that, treat my wife like that. So I just have so much love and respect for her. It's just because we were out there, we had a different bond as well. So there's the time that you just spend out there with somebody going through that. That's all you got out there, and that definitely, So that's part of it, and that's who I am. As some people seen it in the show, but it wasn't broken down. It wasn't showed as much. Just a lot of good stuff, and that's just who I am, man. I just have fun, try new things, do my thing, and just keep on living one day at a time. That's it. But let me see what we got. All right, what we got? Skip says, so speaking to your wife, will she apply? No. My wife won't even come out in this backyard, god dang it. That's not her thing at all. She look at me like, yo, you go ahead and do your thing. That's what you like to do, you go ahead and do it. But she would not dare. Like, I get her, we've been in Florida going on 2 years, and she thinks she came out to the pond or to the walk with me, like in some wood stuff. When I'll probably go out and do some wood stuff. She probably been out there like 2 or 3 times, but she gives me all the credit and all the love. But would she do it? Nah. I would. I got a tent. If I put this tent up outside, she'd be like, "Look, I'll be out here for a little bit, then I'm going inside." Like that isn't her thing at all. Um, do you think hunting was not allowed in your area, and that's why you didn't get the bow? That could be, honestly, Billy. That could be, but that was things that we didn't know anything about on that part. But that could be 1,000%, because, like I said, the poaching out there was very um, was very active. We've as we were walking for our insertion, even though it wasn't a lot of, it's not like we're in a city or anything. Um, or in a place where it's people or anything, but the amount of snare traps that we seen, like literally pointing out, like, hey, here's a snare trap, here's a snare trap, here's a snare trap, like out there. Poaching is death by punishable by death on sight. Like they are very serious out there. So it could be that I didn't get my bow and arrow because hunting might have been illegal in that area. But like I said, we pulled a lot through with the fish, so I don't necessarily say, like, I could have had my bow and arrow and probably not got no kills, and we wouldn't have had no fish. So it could have went either way. But me personally, I think that I would have enjoyed having my bow, even for the simple fact of just downtime. I would have been able to just shoot or at least aim at birds, or a bunch of different opportunities could have came with that. But that's part of it. What else we got here? Appreciate that. Yeah, but no, that's just having fun, man. That's the biggest thing I could take away. Let's have fun, do things your way. That's pretty much it. Let me see if I got a few more questions over here that I can answer before logging off. It's been about an hour. A couple quick questions. Some of it that they got set up for me. It says, what did you think of your partner? Thought that she was amazing. One thing I would say, especially while watching the episode, back when she had her foot injury, which them thorns are sent from hell. I don't even understand what the world is going through where Africa felt like it needed to protect itself. Them trees, them thorns was everywhere. But when she had her foot infection, and I was like, hey, man, I hope my partner could, hope she could pull it through, because I didn't sign up for a solo. And knowing that I was already leaving as I'm watching the episode, like, ooh, that looks terrible. I was like, ooh, that looks terrible, because I ended up leaving her, and she didn't sign up for no solo either. And so that was I guess out of the entire time, that sentence, I was like, oh, that looked ugly. But that was just different times. That was probably still some, I don't know what part of the days that was, but that's just part of it. But like I said, me and her, we're great. We're good. We can still talk, and yeah. So that was one thing I was like, yikes, that was terrible. But she showed a lot of strength, dedication, determination to push through the foot injuries. The hunger, everything, and to be out there another 8 days by herself. So it speaks for herself, and that's it. That's all I can say about that. Is she's amazing in so many ways. It said, what did you expect to get out of the challenge, and was the challenge what you expected? I got what I think I wanted at times. Like the days where we seen the hippos come, that was a rush. It was a high that I got from that. It was amazing. Just the crocodiles, the being out there the whole time. There was a lot of highs that I got. And was the challenge what you expected? Was it what I expected? I guess so. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, is that I wanted to know what was real and what was fake at the same time. Like I said, I'm a fan turned survivalist. I was watching the show, I guess, 2 years at the time before I went out there, or roughly about 2 years by the time I went out there. And so everything that I learned how to do, shelter, building, fire, was all within that time frame, or less, to be honest, because I wasn't doing it every day. Um, but yeah, so it was. Says, have you traveled much? Well, yeah, driving trucks. I've been everywhere in the U.S. except for Maine and Mississippi. Who is your favorite Naked and Afraid cast member? Yeah, well, Cole's added on there. Cole, Matt, Jeff. There's so many more, but I can't think of everybody's name. Yeah, I would like to do Naked and Afraid XL. I would like to do. Um, I would like to do the Castaways. The Castaways as well, because you got that shit. You got a wreck that you can pull things from. So I would definitely love to do that. You just got, possibly more opportunity for materials and things like that. What else we got? Let me see. Yeah, like I said, I think when temperatures drop pretty low, what we got here? Rhinos got poached fairly close to us while we were out there. Dogs barking a helicopter. Wow. That, yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy because at the same time you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's like in the middle of nowhere there are people out there, like and it's like, just like you said, they'll be out there poaching. It's, yeah, crazy. It's crazy for them to be out there at that time of night with all the dang on animals. The one of the funnier the night that was scary was the first night when we built our shelter. We had it already fairly built very well within the first night, and we had fire, we had water, all within the first night. It was a lot of great stuff that we had going on, but there was one portion of the shelter that had a hole in it, in the roof and in the top part, and we didn't close it up before sunset. Dude, I was telling Aaron, I said, this hole got me very nervous, like, because it was big enough for a cat to jump in. Like, our boma was very high, tall, sturdy, but that first day it wasn't high enough to where I felt a cat could have jumped in there if it wanted to. And like I said, you think 3 minutes in a boxing ring is long, try 30 seconds with a goddamn jaguar, cougar, or whatever the hell's out there. So I just knew that was the scary night. But the second night we covered that up, or the second day we covered that up, and it was we were set. We were good. What was your greatest success out there? Greatest success, and what are you most proud of? Proud for the time that I was out there. The shelter. I wish they showed more of the shelter was top notch, certified. You know, it could have get you. It could have got you through some days. Uh, Certified shelter. Catching the 31 or 32 fish, no matter what, it was more than 30. The 30 something fish, and being a good partner for the time that I was out there. Even the day I left, but those are the three things I would be proud of: being able to be there for my partner when she needed, being a good partner, the shelter, and the fish. What is the next great adventure that I have planned? Well, I just got back from Jamaica a couple weeks ago. That was amazing. Jamaica was absolutely amazing. Did some snorkeling, paddleboard. Went down there for a wedding. Spent the nice, what was it, 6 days? 6 days down there. So that was amazing. First time in Jamaica. Ocho Rios over by Montego Bay. What effects did you experience? What did effects the experience happen to you, Miriam? Emotionally, spiritual, and physically. Physically, well, I was dying. Spiritually, I just felt more connected with the earth at the times. Just walking barefoot straight to the ground, which I do that even still out here sometimes. Emotionally, I had an emotional moment where I, connect. I guess that emotionally and spiritually connected, felt like, tied to my pops. So that was what I would say on that part. What do you think the qualities needed to survive a naked and afraid challenge? A lot of it is mental, physical. Like even if for me, I could have like I know I could have, but I didn't want to, and I started talking myself out of being in the challenge. Like, um, so mentally, you got to be strong. If you got a good shelter and you got mentally being strong and really just having a good shelter, because you can truly survive the 21 days on just the water. To be honest, you really can. Like, will it be fun? No, but can you? Yeah. And if you're mentally strong enough to do it, or you want to will yourself to do it, you can. So definitely having a mental toughness, that fortitude, having a strong why for the reason that you're out there, that will definitely play a part. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I appreciate you guys for coming in, checking out, hanging with me for the night. Uh, yeah, that's yeah. What would you do differently in You made said, do you feel like you made any mistakes? Yeah, I cut my hand. That was a mistake. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys for coming out, checking me out, hanging with me this evening, um, letting me get to just speak and talk. And like I said, I have fun. I enjoyed it. I'm very proud, very happy, even though I've been posting things and having time because I have time to speak to a lot of these people who had the negative comments, and some of them I was able to persuade and turn them around. Like, yo, you're a little too hostile. And but never did I allow it to bring me down. I had a lot of good time, a lot of memories that's created, and like I've been saying, I'm on to the whatever experience that I can get to next. And um, yo, yeah, I am Marlin Sims, and uh, I'm having fun, and I appreciate you all. And hey, see you guys in the future.